Hi, it's Karen with Living Our Dream Homestead, where today we'll be making pumpkin cookies with cream cheese icing. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please click the button down below. Well, let's go ahead and get started. First thing we need to do is we need to turn on our oven to 350 degrees. We are actually going to be using a baking sheet today, and we are going to go ahead and line it with some parchment paper. So let me go ahead and turn around the camera and show you up close how to make these delicious pumpkin cookies with cream cheese icing. First thing we need is we need a medium-sized bowl, and in it I have 2½ cups of all-purpose flour. We are going to go ahead and add to that 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 tablespoon of pumpkin pie spice, and ½ teaspoon of salt. Then we are going to whisk those ingredients together. Now, if you do not have pumpkin pie spice, you can go ahead and add together to make pumpkin pie spice 1½ teaspoons of cinnamon, ½ teaspoon of ground ginger, 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, and then 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves. You would take all 4 of those spices and you would mix them together, and then you would measure out the 1 tablespoon of pumpkin pie spice that you need. That's if you don't have the other. So now that we have those ingredients mixed up, we are going to go ahead and push that aside. We are going to go ahead now and take a large bowl. Now we're going to need to take 3/4 cup of unsalted butter. It talks about having it at room temperature, so that would be a stick and a half is 3/4 of a cup. And then we need to put it in our bowl. Mine is not room temperature. I wish it was. So I'm going to go ahead and put mine in the microwave just a little bit just to soften it up. To this softened butter, it's almost really melted butter. Should be okay, but you wouldn't want to have it all the way melted like this. But at least some of it is still okay. So we're going to go ahead and put in 3/4 cup of cane sugar. And then we're putting in ½ cup of light brown sugar. I'm going to be using a hand mixer, or you can use a stand-up mixer, and I'm going to beat this on about medium speed for 3 minutes. Now that we have our butter beat up into our sugars and it looks nice and fluffy, we are going to go ahead and add in 1 1/4 cups of canned pumpkin puree. Now, I'm just using the Kroger brand 100% pure pumpkin. You want the one that has no spices in it, since we put that tablespoon of pumpkin pie spice in there. You know, you don't want the one with the spices, because then that would be too much. So I've got that right here, and I'll put that in here. And then we'll go ahead and then put 1 large egg . And then we will put in 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. Then we will use the mixer to mix to combine. You're beating the pumpkin mixture with your mixer. Sometimes you get some, as you can see, around the sides. You can just take your spatula and go around the sides to go ahead and get it more mixed and incorporated. I'll go ahead and work on this. Now that we have our pumpkin mixture all mixed up, we need to go ahead and take our dry mixture and mix it into our pumpkin mixture. You can either use a spoon or you can use the mixer to combine. When you mix the dry ingredients in, don't do it all at once. Just do a little bit at a time till it's completely mixed in. Now that our dough is all mixed up, we are going to take either a tablespoon, about a heaping tablespoonful, and put it onto our parchment paper, or you can take a medium cookie scoop and scoop out your dough and put that onto the parchment paper. It's either one that you want to do. And we need to go ahead and space them about 2 inches apart. I'll go ahead and work on this now. Here's what I'm talking about. Now we need to go ahead and put it in our 350-degree oven, and we are going to bake them for 13 to 15 minutes. Then I will show you when they're done. Cookies are all done. And if you're kind of wondering why they look so small, it's because we used the cookie scoop. I will show you how they look. If I just used a tablespoon, a heaping tablespoon, I do believe it will look a little bit different, and it will probably be a wider cookie. But I don't know about you. To me, they just look so cute. You could almost end up eating 2 or maybe 3 for about the size of a big, huge heaping tablespoonful. So now they need to just cool here for just a little bit, and then we'll remove them to a wire rack to completely cool. I'll work on the rest of them. Where I'm showing you the different size of the cookies. These are heaping tablespoons, and this is the medium cookie scoop. Now the recipe really called for the medium cookie scoop, and if you didn't have that, then the heaping tablespoon. So again, whatever one you want to use. These are cute. Like I said, you could eat like 3 for one of these. And these just would be perfect to pop anytime in your mouth, etc. And then these are, of course, the bigger cookies. Well, let's go ahead and work on that cream cheese icing. You need to take a small bowl, and in it I have a 1/4 cup of unsalted butter that has been softened. I've left it out on the counter. We're going to take 8 ounces of Philadelphia cream cheese, which again I've left this to softened on the counter as well. We're going to put the cream cheese in with the butter, and we are going to go ahead and use our hand mixer and beat on medium-high. We got the butter and the cream cheese whipped up. We are going to go ahead and add in 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. Then we'll mix to combine. Now that we have that all mixed up, we need to take 1 3/4 cup of confectionery sugar. And we need to go ahead and sift it. This is a sieve, or you can use a handheld sifter. We need to sift the confectionery sugar into our butter mixture and then beat to combine. Now the cream cheese icing is ready to spread, and we need to use a spatula or the rubber spatula to spread it. Here's some all iced. These are the ones that are small with the medium cookie scoop. To me, they seem to be more dainty than if I iced the really big one. So it talks about sprinkling your cookies with a little bit of cinnamon on top. You know, I don't want to put a lot on there, but something like that. Doesn't that look delicious? Well, the pumpkin cookies made about 38 cookies. I will leave a link of the recipe where I found it down below in the description. Well, thank you for watching. This was Karen with Living Our Dream Homestead. I hope you have a good day.